Once this is finished as well, it will be sent to YouTube, and we'll have this posted so anybody wants to view this at a later time, they can. Okay, so if Riley wants to go ahead and share her screen.
All right, is it sharing?
Don't see it just yet.
Is it loading?
I don't see it just yet. So you're at the bottom clicking the present and then the tab.
Okay.
So you would do the Chrome tab and then choose the tab that is your slideshow.
I did that.
Okay.
For me, it says it's presenting.
Anybody else seeing it yet? No, neither am I. Let me run a test and see if I can present from my tab real quick.
All right.
Can anybody see that?
Yep. I think, Riley, you may need to actually pick the window you want to present.
Correct.
And then hit.
Oh, okay. So how do I do that? Oh, okay.
Go down to present now. You'll see a thumbnail.
Is it working?
Yeah, you got it right there. Nice.
Yep, there you go.
So this is my app, Serene, and I just took off the app of Calm and Headspace, and I kind of mashed two and two together and took little pieces out of each app, and then I turned it into my own. But I also kind of added my own touch. So like with the notification center, I noticed how whenever you had like a notification pop up asking for it to allow or don't allow, how the back would be like gray or like spaced out. So I kind of just added on to like that with like a transparency. For corona relief, I kind of based my app around having anxiety in like these times. And for corona relief, I just kind of put basics of how to keep yourself safe during these times, not really what you need, because I didn't really think that would be a necessity, because you'd think it's pretty basic. For what your goal with using this app is, once you click what you wanted, what your goal was, you come to the main screen. You could either choose how you're feeling, and then you could choose, and then you'd add what's making you feel this way, what are you grateful for, a song you enjoyed today, or something you did fun today, which you wouldn't even have to fill out if you didn't want to. You could take 90 seconds of meditation to relieve yourself, or you could do a sleep mix if you wanted to. And that's just basically all I really have for my slides. So if there are any questions.
Nice job, Riley. So the sound that we're hearing is those calming and soothing sounds.
Yeah, they were a little bit loud on the meets.
No, that's all right.
So I'm finished presenting my part.
Judges, any other questions, feedback? Okay. There's no other comments. Derek Pitcher said he liked the use of the color. If you guys are noticing the chat, there are some comments coming in that chat line. And it looks like Tracy said, I really like the pop-up button and the sound effects. Great job. Like your use of color, the design and the color scheme. So good job.
Thank you.
All right. We'll give the judges just a few minutes to complete their form and their evaluation, and then we can move on to our next, which will be Chesney Mullins. So we'll have her on deck, and she will be presenting relief here in a few minutes. All right. See, judges, are we good to go? If so, you can throw it in the chat line or just give a thumbs up or a... Dave's good. Rains is good. Dubs, you good? Almost. All right. And Derek's good. All right. So I think it looks like, and Josh, good to go. Okay. So it looks like our judges have all been able to submit. Again, judges, really all you have to do is refresh that or reopen that form to resubmit that for you. All right, so Chesney is here again, and she's going to be presenting relief. So if she wants to go ahead and share her screen, which looks like it's happening, we'll get her started.
This is my app, Relief, and it's for anxiety. And for my big idea was for people who are suffering from anxiety and their goal is to decrease it. My essential question was, how can we decrease the amount of anxiety to a manageable level? And I wanted to design an app that can do that on a daily basis for people easily. Here is my menu. If we go into log, we have a space where you can put the time that your attack is happening, the location, and what are you feeling during this attack. So you can share this with your doctor and they can pinpoint the source of the anxiety. Here is journal, where you can write what is happening during and why your attack is happening. So you just type in what you're feeling. Here is the mood tracker, and here is the month, and then for each day you fill it in with a color of your choice. So here you would have another page where you create your own key. So like for happy, you would have a color, for sad, and then so on. And then coloring pages. Here are non-copyrighted coloring pages that you can go into that tab and print out and color to help you calm down. Then here is guided meditations, which takes you to 2 videos that can help you also calm down. And then lastly, we have coping mechanisms, which is 1, go somewhere quiet, 2, take 10 deep breaths, close your eyes and take 10 more deep breaths, and it's still not calm, try a meditation. And then this button here takes you back to the home page. And that is it.
Okay. So judges, if you have any feedback on that, I do want to say, yeah, I see somebody put, I love the mood tracker and the color coding. I was going to say the exact same thing. I would even maybe suggest adding, I've heard people have where individuals can import their own song lists, like a song set that is calming for them. So maybe their top 10 soundtrack of what music can kind of calm them down. I think that would be kind of cool if they could import their own music into that. But yeah, I think that was a pretty good idea. And a lot of the things in there could be very helpful. Anybody else? Yes, Steve, I agree with that. How she introduced and explained the challenge-based learning in her app, and what her big challenge was and how she was trying to tackle that. One of the judges also said they liked the homepage. It was very easy to find what they're looking for with those buttons on that interface. Yep. Nice job, Chesney. Again, we'll give our judges a few minutes to complete that form, and we'll get moved on here in a few minutes to our next presenter, our next young app developer, which is Giselle Concho, presenting Around the Neighborhood.
Okay. Oh, I need to do a tab. Sorry. Do you see it?
Yep.
Okay.
So are we all ready, judges? Just want to make sure the judges are ready. Looks like it. So go ahead. It's still loading on our end, it looks like.
Yes, it's
Okay.
loading for me too.
Okay. So whenever that loads and you're ready, we're ready for you.
Okay. Waiting for this to completely. Oh, okay. So Around the Neighborhood, what inspired me to make this was the difficulty finding products in grocery stores. And it's really bothersome to open up so many tabs at once to go to different websites of different stores to just see if they have this product you're trying to find for, especially now with the pandemic. So this app Around the Neighborhood allows you to look at certain products in certain stores around you to see if they're in stock or they're running out or they're just gone for now. And before we get into the big categories right here, I want to shine light on these little buttons around. So the first button on the top left corner is a favorite button. And it allows you to favorite items. And the reason these have some left and this doesn't is because these products are only allowed in one store since it's owned by this store. And it allows you to see there's some left in Costco, while here you have to click on it to pick a store to see if that store has it in stock or not. And here are the little buttons you can press to move around. And next is the notification button. And when you favorite an item, you can get notifications saying it updated. There's some left of bath tissue 2 hours ago, so you're able to buy some now. And now sign up button. When you first download the app, you have to make a profile that has your zip code, address, a name you would pick, and a password so nobody steals your account. And here you could sign out of it for now. And you could make a new one if you want, or you could re-log into it. And this button right here is a locations button, making sure that this is your right location. This is an example of Growth City, and maybe you're right here. Home. This is the update button. And what this does is you search for an item. Let's say you went to the store and saw strawberries, but there was only like a shorter supply left. So you can search for strawberries in this specific store, and you would enter a list of examples would come to you to see which one you would be updating. And this little button right here, can't really see it, it's a search bar. And here you're able to search specific items you're looking for if the categories in the front page doesn't fit the product you're looking for. One example is toiletries for a category, and for a store, Kroger, you would hit enter. And since you put in a specific store, you're able to see from right here if they have some left of Dove soap bar, or they have a large amount of supplies of Tom's toothpaste. And from here you could favorite them, you can unfavorite them, and also you can update them. And this will have a drop down of list of stores that you can update it, and you would be able to click on the image to go back. And this little buttons, of course, this is favorite, this is search to go back to the search bar. These two buttons, this one is a chat room, where when you put in location, you have a chat room of that city, saying you could put in, oh, they stocked up on toilet paper in this Kroger. You can simple thank you emoji, or you can reply to them with a short message. And yeah, that's a chat room. And this is profile, so you can look over your profile, see if everything's right. If you're not happy with it, you can change it, whatever you would like. And now with the big categories that would help you in some way is these categories. This is cleaning supplies. This is fresh products, meats, toiletries, spices, and baking supplies. When you click on them, they would have a list of supplies where you can scroll down and just to look at them, see if they have the item you're looking for in stock. Like Windex bottle, you would be able to scroll down with all the different stores. You would click on one and it would show a status saying maybe it's out of stock in Walmart and something like that. And you would be able to favorite them too, or update them. And you would press the image to go back. And here is fresh products. Each category, it's the same layout, so you won't get confused. You would be able to go back and look at them. And yeah, that's my app.
All right, well done. Let me go back to the chat here, and I'm going to kind of give you some feedback as far as what everybody had been commenting in the comments. I mean, first off, I liked your homepage, and I thought that, and I'm probably going to echo a lot of what everybody else said, but very well thought out as far as all of the different features from an app that you could include. I know, let's see, somebody said clever, great idea to have the favorites. A couple of us mentioned your notifications. Having that built in was pretty neat to notify you when something is now available. Somebody else said the personal connection and a challenge that is really affecting our community right now. I know that I did my first order through Kroger to have them actually deliver it to me, and the shopper was texting me back and forth, hey, we're out of this, and sending me pictures, would this do? But that's kind of like that notification feature that would notify us, oh, it's available. So we really like that. And you even thought of the security feature, as one of our folks from Apple pointed out, to keeping that security in mind as far as your app. The location was mentioned, using the location services, again, factoring that in. Very nice job. People like the design, your icons, how you had pictures of the products. Let's see what else. Use of emojis. So very nice job. So you can always go through and scroll through some of those comments in the chat. But nice overall presentation. Good job, Giselle. If anybody else wants to add anything, feel free to unmute and add.
Giselle, this is Mrs. James over at Jackson. You did such a great job. Good. Where have you been the last 3 months?
Thank you.
Okay, we'll give our judges a couple minutes to input their thoughts into the Google form. And once you're ready, just let me know in that chat box again. But again, thank you, Giselle. Awesome idea. Great design. We're very proud of you. I know next on deck we have Preston Emmerich presenting Trivia Box. So once we get the okay from our judges, we will get him on. And Preston, if you want to go ahead and start to share your screen, you can, and then I'll give you the okay to get started.
Okay. I'm trying to present it now.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Not yet. Yep, it's starting to load now. So we'll just get I need a couple okays from the judges, and then we'll let you get started here in a second.
Okay.
Okay, I think we are ready for Preston to go ahead and present Trivia Box.
Okay, my app is called Trivia Box. My app is it's a trivia app where it's meant for schooling and other even at home purposes, especially during this time when everyone is at home. I feel like students need to get more engaged. They need to be more interested in school because it's really easy to lose focus when you're at home, stuff like that. So that's kind of the basis of why I made Trivia Box. So on the previous slide, you had one that said, student or administrator, depending on if you're doing something for school or you just had at home purposes. On this slide, you can put in your username, your password, and then you would sign in. Now on this slide, you have the ability to choose play or create. So say if you're a teacher and you want to make a study guide on this app for your students to make it more fun while they're also learning, you would choose create. And then you would be able to add text, the questions, add as many questions as you want. And that's create. Then for play, you would have all different categories that you could choose from, like sports, food, educational, music, and all. But for now, I'm just going to choose all. So you have the question at the top. Then you have your 4 answers that you can choose from. So say I go with A. It's incorrect. And then you would have to restart. So there's where the learning aspect comes in. You'd have to read the question until you get it right. Got that one. And then you get a bunch of random questions. But if you make one, it could be math questions. It could be anything. Here's an educational one. Who is the father of Constitution? Then I know the answer. It's James Madison. And then once you're done, you get to a screen that says you win. And that's basically my whole app.
Okay, nice job, Preston. So I do like the idea of kind of gamifying that a little bit, and trying to, like you said, refocus students who are at home during this remote learning time. So very relevant. My only suggestion would be is to consider, as far as a sign-in goes, maybe there is a sign-in as a teacher and then a sign-in as a student. So that way, during that creation part, if a teacher's creating it, it's kind of a little different. That'd be my only suggestion, but I really think that's a very relevant. And then somebody mentioned maybe consider a scoreboard or a leaderboard, maybe even adding some digital badges as far as what you're completing. And somebody said they like the categories that you provided, and everyone can use a trivia app. Let's see, somebody else liked the color scheme that you had. Okay. Great fun way to learn.
Good job, Preston. I like the changes that you've made since we talked last.
Again, if anybody else wanted to add anything, feel free. If you want to be vocal rather than type, that's fine. We are running a bit ahead of schedule, it looks like. Quite a bit ahead of schedule, which is good. I know I was trying to overthink as far as time, because I knew that our pitches were usually 3 to 5 minutes with those couple minutes of feedback. But I wanted to make sure we had plenty of time. So, but great job, Preston. So is Brendan with us yet? I know it's a little early.
I don't see him.
Okay. All right, and then I know, Emily, you mentioned the other two could chime in, but I know that we are way ahead of schedule right now as far as our presentations go.
I haven't heard from them to know if they're planning to. One of them sent me like a script so that I could read it for him because he doesn't like presenting.
Okay.
So I would suspect that he will not be joining us.
Okay. Do you have their app? Did they share?
I do.
Okay. Would you want to share that now, since we have a little time before Brendan comes in?
No, well, I'm not prepared now. I got to get it all loaded up here.
You got some time?
Okay. This one.
And again, for those that may have just joined, we are running a little ahead of schedule now, but this Google Meet, this showcase is being recorded. So if you've missed any of the previous apps, it will be posted to where and shared out to where you'll be able to go back and view them.
Okay. So, whoop, whoop. Too many buttons.
Emily, did you get my tutorial on how to present on Google?
Yes, thank you. Because I can't share my screen. So I'm on Chrome instead of Safari, and it won't let me.
The tough part is you actually have to pick the preview window and then hit share. Do you see that?
Yeah, but well, I just clicked entire screen because that's all I've ever done. But let me try it a different way.
Yeah, try the Chrome tab, and then you would actually pick which tab from the pop-up window.
Okay. Do you see it?
Yep, it's coming.
That's it.
Yep, we see it.
All right. I was gonna pull up his little. He like typed it out for me to tell me what to say. So his is COVID Cup, and he created it because apparently he had done some research about other apps that were related, that are already out, that were related to COVID, and he was frustrated that they were basically just telling you how to be safe instead of like offering ways to actually do that. So he said he added a map feature. So let's see what we can go through. He's got his little profile here. You can make yourself a profile. He has a friend list. Every good app needs some social media. This was the part that I thought was really cool. It just crosses a lot of privacy lines, I guess. It would be a difficult thing to implement. But he wanted a map that would show where people were and where infected people were. So he put a little dot on there. This is him at Brook Park Middle School, and he put some blue dots around to show where just other people were so that you could avoid large crowds. But then if you saw a yellow pop up on there, that you would hopefully avoid that area, knowing that someone had been infected. And then he also said that he wanted to include a news section because while the map was great and helpful, everything was constantly updating by the minute. And so he thought it was important to also include like current news and things that were going on in addition to his map. So I think that's, let me just double check that I'm not missing another slide here. Nope, that's all he had. All right, and that is COVID Cup.
All right, good. And again, you can kind of see in the chat, somebody mentioned just the graphics right off from the bat on the homepage, kind of drew them in. I kind of mentioned about Snapchat. I'm not like the super Snapchat user, but I know that it's kind of up to the user if they want to turn on location to where you can see yourself on the map. So maybe there's something like that could be done.
Well, it's also like choosing to self-report that you're infected.
True. Yep.
So
Exactly.
that was the part that I was like, this sounds really cool if it would work, but that would be kind of tricky.
Yep. Up to the person. Yeah. To input that. Self-reporting also then allows for privacy. Yep. It's the same thing. And somebody mentioned he was on the right track with the contact tracing. Yeah. thoughtful to include the current news articles and how that's kind of updating. Someone said, "Great job, Emily."
I can't take credit for that one. That one was Lucas. If is the other, there was another student that was supposed to pop in too, right?
You had one of yours, you mean?
No, somebody that was before me.
Yes. So we were waiting to see if Brendan Sprouse was in yet, but again, he wasn't slated until 4:15, and like I said, we're way ahead of schedule on some of these apps.
Okay. I can show you the other one if you want. I guess I have both of them available. He hasn't responded to me today to let me know if he's coming.
Okay, sure. That would
A good little time
provide
here.
a nice little filler.
All right. Hang on.
And then Brendan would end up being our last one that would be
Closer.
presenting. Yes.
Tracy, it's been hard because you got to wait for them to respond to you. And sometimes they don't respond when you want them to. Okay. I think that's the one I want.
So this is actually good for me as well, as far as setting up the time schedule now, knowing, how quickly we're kind of moving along to maybe just make those 10-minute time frames as far as doing this virtually in the future. So that's why I sent that out to hopefully have kids ready 5 to 10 minutes early, but we're already 20 minutes early. So
okay, can you see like,
yep.
Okay, because I went to a different tab and I didn't know if it went with me. So I don't have a prompt for Tommy's. Tommy's was help from home. I do know that he was prompted to help build a connection between students that were working at home and their teachers for kiddos that were struggling with whatever that was. So he provided his own little app where he has a classroom group chat option. I haven't tested out all of his links. I'm hoping these work. Communication, where you can talk directly to the teacher, which I thought was a really neat way to communicate with the teacher via kind of feels like texting. And then in settings, you could pick the classes that you were in. I think he was prompted by the journal to consider Wi-Fi or non-Wi-Fi. So that's his response there. And then he likes the dark mode, light mode option. And then your personal profile, recently asked questions would be a quick button push so that you could go straight to anything that was current, which for me as a teacher, that would be amazing because right now, a lot of my questions are sorted by the assignment. So I have to click on individual assignments rather than timeliness and what's most recent. So I think that's all he has. Let me double check. I think that's all of his slides. But yep, that is Tommy's homework help or help from home. Which I love. I love the idea of offering students a cell phone related way to communicate with their teachers. As a district, we provide email addresses, which is great for adults that are comfortable and familiar with using formal emails. But I've struggled with a lot of students that will, they just don't send me anything, which is one issue. But then when I do have students send me an email, sometimes they'll type the entire message in the subject line, and then I can only see so many words. So it's just kind of training them to use email, which is a necessary skill, but to have something that could be like in their hands, that would just be maybe a more friendly way for them to reach out to teachers in this capacity. I really like that.
Too.
Yep.
I like the icons that he had in there. Those were
Mm-hmm.
pretty nice. Although it froze up on my end, I didn't really get to see all the
Oh,
screen.
no. Sorry.
I don't know if that happened to everybody else, but I didn't get to see as you progressed through.
I think the rest of my family might be sucking up the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So I know Stephen had a pretty good idea from Apple, mentioning that we could always take a 5 to 10 minute intermission. If anybody wanted to take a quick break, we could do that while we wait on our last one, which is Brendan. I don't know if Josh, if you've maybe tried to email or reach out to let him know that we're running a little early.
I emailed him and let him know. He didn't respond back.
Okay. So sure, we can take a maybe 10-minute break here and we'll come back to see if he's gotten that email and if he's ready to go.
If not, I have his app ready to go if he isn't able to get on a little early.
Okay. Well, we can, like I said, still give it that little bit of time. Emily?
Well, Jamie asked if I might show the slides again since it froze up, so I can do that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Which ones did work? Just so.
For me, it didn't actually go into the presentation mode.
See, I think that's because I went to the wrong one. So here we go. We'll try it again.
Okay.
All right. You can see it now. So his chat, is that showing up?
I don't see it. Why don't I see it? Okay, there it is.
So you see class group chat at the top.
Yep. It's like everybody's saying they can see it now.
Okay. So this would be a space for the class to chat back and forth. And then when you go back to the main menu, there's direct communication with the teacher, which feels like a texting screen, which I love having that option for the students because I think it's just a little less formal and that's probably where they're willing to communicate. And then his settings screen. So he's got whatever your current classes are, your connection, dark mode versus light mode. I don't know what he has at the bottom. Oh, since this isn't a real app, none of these can be changed. And then his profile. So this is where it's just a quick touch to recently asked questions and then recently interacted with people. So I don't know if that goes anywhere. There you go. Yeah, recently asked questions. So we can click on those and go straight to wherever that conversation was. And people that he's recently interacted with. So I like that that's a timely option. So, yep. That's it for that. There we go. Hopefully that was better.
Yep. That was really helpful.
Awesome.
I like that recently asked questions thing. That's kind of cool. So students can already see if a question's been asked, and that's kind of helps the teacher out as well. So they're not getting asked that same question over and over again, like happens in a classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we just need to get it coded over the summer and on the Apple Store for the fall.
Yep.
No big deal.
Nice coding goals, Tracy says. Okay, so like I said, we still have a little bit of time. Again, if we wanted to take just a quick break, 5 to 10 minutes, and we can come back. So if you just wanted to have your mic muted, camera muted, we can regroup at 4 o'clock. That sounds good, Steve. And we'll see you then. And then hopefully by then we'll have Brendan. If not, as Josh said, he has his presentation and he can always gear that up and share that. So we'll see you in about 8 minutes.
Hey, Brennan, we'll be back on here in about 6 minutes for you to present your app. Do you want to go ahead and start presenting it now? You can do that. So it's up and ready to go. Were you able to hear me?
Sorry, my mic was muted. I mean, yeah, I can, I guess. So, should we wait for everyone else to unmute their mic and stuff, or should I just go?
So basically, yeah, we did a little break. We're running way ahead of schedule than what we thought we would be at. So they'll be coming back in, our participants, in about 5 minutes at 4 o'clock. So I think what Mr. Dorn was mentioning, if you wanted to at least get your screen shared so that it's ready at 4 o'clock, you could do that. And then once everybody's in, I'll kind of give you the okay to get started. Do you know how to do the present your screen?
Yep.
Okay.
So, hold on. Okay. Hold on.
Just give me a shout if you need help on presenting the screen.
Oh, I thought it was already going. Or what? For me, it just says you're presenting to everyone. Because I'm on this tab, but if I am...
I can see it.
Okay, so yeah, then that's all I needed to know.
Yep. Just gotta wait 2 more minutes. Looks good.
Hey, Brennan, if you want to go ahead and click present Then it'll be full screen for you.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Looks good.
So we'll give it just a few more minutes and let everybody else rejoin. Looks like, I think it's looking like about everybody is back. It looks like everybody's mentioned that they're back and ready to go. So again, this is our last app of the day to be shared. So we're happy to see what Brennan has to offer here with The Unknown. So Brennan, if you want to go ahead and start to share your app.
Oh,
Go ahead.
one moment.
Can you try to think of something for dinner?
I will, but I'm in the middle of something for school, okay?
Okay.
Sorry about that. All right. So basically, this app is obviously not complete, just a prototype. It was created for the purpose of entertainment, it being a game and all. It's a sort of text style RPG. It's kind of meant to be organized as everything's everywhere. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not completely sure on what I should be saying, but it's, yeah.
Just explain it to me like you did yesterday.
All right. Well, it's always set like this. You'll have, description of where you are or what's going on, and then actions. It's just pretty simple at the moment. Well, I still don't really know what I should, talk about too much.
But just walk us through and tell us, how you created it. What does it do? What is the gameplay that you created? All those items. Just tell us about it.
All right. Well, it was, I created it by just having each of these being a link to different area, and the gameplay, as you've been seeing, is you just see how something is, and then you click on your actions. It's going to have, supposed to have 2 modes, but I only made one for the sake of this prototype. I'm sorry. I don't know where I'm going with this at the moment.
You're perfectly fine.
You're doing all right, Brendan. So notice in the chat, there's a few questions over there. If you kind of click that chat in the upper right.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
I haven't been on this tab.
An idea of what to kind of answer. Somebody actually already said they like that choose your own adventure, which it is pretty cool. It does remind us of some of those throwback games that used to be out there. But like, what's the total goal of the game? Like, where are you trying to get to?
Well, it's mostly just exploration. I don't have too much of a story planned out other than maybe like an escape, but you know, obviously things may change if I were to continue with it.
And so, like during the escape, are there or wherever you're navigating to, are there things that they can find? Will there be like the visual part of it to show the environment?
It is mostly meant to not have pictures. It's supposed to leave a lot up to the imagination. And things that you'd come across might be something like an NPC, a creature, a puzzle, something like that.
Oh, I like that.
Someone asked, where did I get inspiration for it? I got some inspiration from, at least in, well, some things you might encounter in-game, not so much the gameplay, from a smaller indie game known as Hollow Knight, and some other indie games, sort of.
Good job, Brendan. I think you could take it from here, Mr. Wood.
Yep, great job, Brennan. So I do like that idea of, leaving it to the imagination. So it's basically just the words and the descriptions, and it kind of, leads to your title of The Unknown. So I kind of like that. So nice job. And again, I want to thank everybody for chiming in today, all of our judges for participating, all of our partners from Apple for joining and taking the time today to check out what these kids have offered and developed as far as their app prototypes. I know we went a little bit faster than we thought, so we'll know that and take that into consideration for our next time should we do a virtual app showcase in the future. We love all the feedback that's provided in the chat. In fact, I think I'm probably going to copy and paste all of those just to kind of be able to share those out in case some of the students weren't able to read the feedback. And again, all of the students will be provided feedback as far as our apps go. Each will be provided a certificate of achievement on their app. We'll be looking at gold, silver, and bronze, as well as a best design, best innovation, and best pitch. So again, we want to thank you for your time today. Thank you to Amy Schakat once again and Cheryl Spain for creating this partnership with Apple. And again, thank you for all those folks from Apple that have joined in to see what the students have offered. We really appreciate you, and we really are happy to have this partnership with them. If there's anything anyone else wants to add, feel free to as we wrap it up. I see Derek says he's looking forward to helping teams code these apps next year. All right, Derek.
Absolutely. There's so many pieces that we're like, wait a minute, that's like given to us a semester. That's what we're doing. Good stuff.
All right. I guess if that's it, again, thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. We'll be getting that feedback out to all the teachers and the students. Thanks again for joining. An awesome job to the students, awesome job to the teachers, and special thanks to everyone.
Thank you, Travis, for putting all this together and helping us out.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Travis.
Yep.
Okay. So is that it? Anything else?
That's it.
That's it.
Good. You can get out here. Thank you. Thank
All right.
you, Brendan, very much. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to copy this real quick.